The physical characteristics of solid wastes vary depending on the types of waste generated. However, some of the most common physical characteristics of solid wastes include density. Density is the mass of waste per unit volume. It is typically measured in kilograms per cubic meter, kilogram per cubic meter. The density of waste can affect the cost of transportation and disposal. Moisture content. Moisture content is the amount of water in the waste. It is typically measured as a percentage of the total mass of the waste. The moisture content of waste can affect its handling and disposal properties. Particle size distribution. Particle size distribution is the range of sizes of the particles in the waste. It is typically measured using a sieve analysis. The particle size distribution of waste can affect its handling and disposal properties. Shape. The shape of the particles in the waste can affect its handling and disposal properties. For example, sharp or pointed objects can be dangerous to handle and can damage waste collection and disposal equipment. Surface area. The surface area of the particles in the waste can affect its reactivity. For example, hazardous waste with a high surface area is more likely to leach hazardous chemicals into the environment. Other physical characteristics of solid wastes that may be important for waste management purposes include compressibility. Compressibility is the ability of waste to be compacted. It is typically measured using a compaction test. The compressibility of waste can affect the volume of waste that can be stored in a landfill. Porosity. Porosity is the amount of void space in the waste. It is typically measured using a porosity test. The porosity of waste can affect its ability to hold water and other liquids. Permeability. Permeability is the ability of water and other liquids to flow through the waste. It is typically measured using a permeability test. The permeability of waste can affect the movement of leachate in a landfill. The physical characteristics of solid wastes are important to consider when developing waste management programs. By understanding the physical characteristics of waste, we can design waste management systems that are safe, efficient, and environmentally sound. The chemical characteristics of solid wastes vary depending on the types of waste generated. However, some of the most common chemical characteristics of solid wastes include pH. pH is a measure of the acidity or alkalinity of a substance. It is typically measured on a scale of 0 to 14, with 7 being neutral. The pH of waste can affect its handling and disposal properties. For example, acidic waste can be corrosive to waste collection and disposal equipment. Organic content. Organic content is the amount of organic material in the waste. It is typically measured as a percentage of the total mass of the waste. Organic waste can decompose and produce methane, a greenhouse gas. Inorganic content. Inorganic content is the amount of inorganic material in the waste. It is typically measured as a percentage of the total mass of the waste. Inorganic waste does not decompose and can remain in the environment for a long time. Hazardous constituents. Hazardous constituents are chemicals or other materials that pose a threat to human health or the environment. Some common hazardous constituents in solid waste include heavy metals, pesticide, and herbicides. Other chemical characteristics of solid wastes that may be important for waste management purposes include calorific value. Calorific value is the amount of heat energy released when waste is burned. It is typically measured in kilojoules per kilogram, kilojoule per kilogram. The calorific value of waste can be used to determine its suitability for use as a fuel source. Leachate potential. Leachate potential is the ability of waste to produce leachate. Leachate is a liquid that is formed when water percolates through waste and extracts soluble and suspended materials. Leachate can contain hazardous constituents and can contaminate soil and groundwater. The chemical characteristics of solid wastes are important to consider when developing waste management programs. By understanding the chemical characteristics of waste, we can design waste management systems that are safe, efficient, and environmentally sound. For example, if a waste stream contains hazardous constituents, it may need to be treated or disposed of in a special way to prevent these constituents from contaminating the environment. If a waste stream has a high calorific value, it may be possible to use it as a fuel source to generate electricity or heat. By understanding the chemical characteristics of solid wastes, we can develop waste management programs that minimize the environmental impact of waste and maximize the resources that can be recovered from waste.